What's up, guys? So in the last week, I've been trading on Hyperliquid with my mean reversion bots that I've coded, and we're up about. Let's refresh it. We're about 10 grand, mostly trading a couple commodities, silver, gold. They've been on crazy runs, and also we've been trading some of the most strongest, I think, cryptos like Zcash, and then Lighter. And I want to go over, if you haven't done any of your bots before or you don't even know how to get started, kind of a intro to vibe coding your own trading bots 101. And if you see it on the right hand side, I have this graphic showing really a high level of what you need if you want to get your own bot started today, for example. So to start, you're going to need something to actually do the vibe coding for you. And I use Claude Code as my brain here, but you can use Codex for OpenAI, or you can use like Gemini, one of their models. But I use Claude Code. And the reason why I use Claude Code is just because I found that it's the best for doing tasks and being able to execute them without you having to run stuff yourself. So what do I mean by that? Like, you can write code. Like, let's say you want to write code that like buys on Hyperliquid, but then like testing it and like running it locally to see if it actually runs, or like what if you need another symbol in there or something. Claude Code actually can iterate and do things for you, whereas some of the other models cannot do network calls, like Codex can't, for example. And so that's why I like Claude Code. And if you want to get started on it, it is a paid tool, but you just go to claude.com, it's from Anthropic, and you just copy paste this thing and you put it into your terminal, and then it will install it. And then I'll do a quick demo right now to show you kind of like how it works. And so all you do is you go to it and you say like, create for me a local script that buys on Hyperliquid when a ticker is down by 5%. Right? And then it will go and actually write the code for you. And then you have to run it, and you can even ask it though how to run it. So Claude Code is my favorite for this, especially Opus 4.5 if you're looking to get started. If you want something cheaper, you could just go to the like LLMs directly, like you go to Gemini or ChatGPT or Claude through their website, and then just ask it for the code and paste it back. But again, I like Claude Code the best. And if we're going to be doing this for trading, might as well go all the way and get the best tool. So that brings us to the second point, which is, okay, you have the tool to actually write the code. You now need to be able to trade on the market. And so I like Hyperliquid the best. And the reason why I like it the best is because it's crypto native, and you can just move money directly into it by depositing. And I really like that. A lot of the other exchanges and stuff, some of them need KYC. This one doesn't need KYC. And also it has a crazy amount of volume and open interest, which is important because then you can go trade stuff without having liquidity issues. Like, you worry about buying too much and moving the price, etc. And then if we go in here, they used to just mostly have crypto, but now they have these other more of traditional commodities and stocks. So for example, they have a lot of stuff like they got silver here, they have gold, they have copper, they have, copper's up a lot. I should have been buying that. They have stocks like Intel's up a ton. I wish I would have bought this. They had a huge mean reversion that I should have been buying. Let me go back here, just for the video's sake. It was it went down like 20% from the top. That sucks. Anyways, you could buy stocks like this, Nvidia. And there's a lot of volume on these things. Like, I don't know where it is. Here it is, $21 million of volume on Nvidia. So I mean, you can't move infinite money on these things, but you can move a lot. And tickers like silver, for example, this thing has 100 billion in, I think, daily volume. Let's go here. And if we go here, I mean, not 100 billion, 1 billion, which is crazy. So obviously I like this iteration of silver. I've been bodying it for the last, I don't know, since the 19th. But yeah, so that's the market. So you're going to go on Hyperliquid if you want something easy. You can of course do this and other things too. The other reason, the pro tip is why I like Hyperliquid too, is because a lot of these LLMs like Claude Code actually are very good, and they kind of already know how to interact with Hyperliquid. So if you do something like obscure perp decks, then a lot of times they're not going to know how to do the code, because they've been asked probably so many times to do Hyperliquid code. They just know how to do it, and so it won't take you that many tries. And that brings us to the third step, which is the instructions. So this is going to drastically depend on what you're doing. if you're like a meme coin trader, it could be like, I want to watch this account, and when they post, your trade could be literally be an auto buy on their Telegram post, like some random coal that is good at that. If you are a Hyperliquid trader, you could be like, okay, I think this commodity or crypto token is really good, and so I'm going to buy the pullback, or I'm going to buy momentum. If I see hype, like one like hype, which is the Hyperliquid token, went up like 30% over 2 days or something, some crazy thing. And so you could be like, okay, I'm going to buy this if it goes up by standard deviation, etc. This really depends on you. There really is no like tried and true, I think, algo, like unless you're like doing some high frequency trading stuff where the answer or something, like for the most part is definitely gonna be trial and error, and it's gonna be like whatever you think you're good at or information sources you're privy to. But when you do this prompt side, you give it a prompt, and it's better if you could be more specific. So for example, like maybe instead of this, I say like, I want to be able to run on Hyperliquid commodities, and I also want to have a stop loss at X%, etc. The more, if you have an algorithm or an idea, the more you can give it better instructions, the better, because it's going to assume a lot of things. And I found from personal experience of using these things for the last year and a half that sometimes the assumptions will really hurt you on the trading side. They're not that great at the trading side. And so like this little graphic shows here, like role, task, strategy, constraint. Those are pretty good if you want like a basic formula of how to do that. And then the last step I want to go over is where to host it. So yeah, you can run this on your computer. You can leave your laptop open all day, but like also some of these things need VPN. And also like, what if your apartment goes out of, or your house goes out of internet, right? So like if Hyperliquid went down and your apartment went out of internet, you might not have bought it here, right? Like maybe it went down to this level and you're looking for this level. That's why you really want to host it on a separate server, at least in my opinion, because first off, they're cheap, and then second off, reliability, and then third off, also security. And so I use a company called DigitalOcean. There's a million companies that do this, so I just like this one because they're reliant and I've used them for a while. But if you go up here, like owning or using your own server here is pretty cheap. Let's just really quickly see if we can find the pricing page. Pricing, there we go. So if we go to their servers here, droplets from $4 a month, like they're really cheap, and you don't even need, like you don't need a ton of compute here. You could do it for like $10, $20 a month and be fine. And so I like DigitalOcean, but like I said, you could use AWS. You could host it on Google's stuff. You could do different other VPS services. That's probably the easiest part is this home section. The most important part, I would say, is going to be the first three, which is the brain, what you're using to write the code. And this is extremely important because so the difference between a good LLM and the bad LLM for code is miles. Like it will save you so much time if you pick the right interface and also model. And like the more expensive the better in my mind for trading stuff. But it's really important that you get this down and you learn how to use these because, like I said, it's wildly different when you're operating with something good versus something that's just okay. And then the other part that's extremely important is the prompt. So you have to be able to give it the right prompt and then be able to articulate what the steps are in your algorithm correctly. Because if you don't, then it makes assumptions. And if the LM makes assumptions, then it's not going to be doing what you want it to do. And so those are the four basic things. If you want to get started the day, just getting a example of one up. There's obviously more parts to it that I can make videos on, like how to set up your own one with paper trading so you can see if it actually works over a week's time. And then also like how to even go about finding an algorithm that might fit you. That could be another video. But as of now, I want to keep this to a high level thing. So just if you're looking for ideas of how you can get started today, this would be what I would do. I would focus on these four components and just try things. So the best part of these AI tools is that they are easy to get started with, and they're also pretty cheap for the lower end models. And you can literally, if you want to get started today, you could just set your own instance of Claude Code up or use ChatGPT to write the code, etc., and like just go try something out. And it's also pretty fun. And so if you have any questions on any of these models or AI stuff in general, leave them in the comments. And if you're using AI for trading stuff, definitely leave a comment too. I want to hear what you're working on, and I will see you guys in the next episode.